Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and while you guys are probably knee-deep in the European aerial zone trying to finish up your Solstice of Heroes grinds, don't forget that tonight, of course, August 13th, 2020 is a Thursday, and that means it's time to hear from Bungie with the Bungie Weekly blog, This Week at Bungie. And this time around, it is going to be all Solstice based. We've actually got some pretty good news that Bungie's going to be talking about when it comes to the Solstice gear, the magnificent and majestic armor grinds, especially if you're somebody who has multiple characters. Bungie did something really cool. We're going to be talking about that, as well as some other news that's covered in this week's TWAB. But let's go ahead and dive right on in with the Solstice of Heroes. And indeed, that is exactly where the TWAB this week starts out, as Bungie answers a few questions about the ongoing event. Here's what they had to say. This week at Bungie, we kicked off the Solstice of Heroes. If you're anything like us, you're probably neck deep in majestic armor, smashing through the Solstice of Heroes event. Our yearly celebration of Guardians near and far has begun. Solar, Arc, and Void have each taken a turn in the daily rotation of elemental damage. A few of you have already completed the majority of objectives towards your first magnificent armor set, and are already off to the races on your alternate classes. Tomorrow, Trials of Osiris will return at 10 a.m. Pacific time. 7 wins might be all that's standing between you and your magnificent glow. Form your fire team, grab your bounties, and get ready for a fight. But before we get deeper in the TWAB, we've been seeing some questions on rewards for Solstice 2020 in comparison to years past. Let's take a moment to clear up some confusion. Last year, a legendary Sparrow was available to anyone who fully masterworked every armor piece for all 3 classes. We got quite a bit of feedback that this felt a little too grindy for a limited time event. I agree, I was one of the people giving that feedback last year. This year, we shifted focus to the individual Solstice of Heroes sets that you'll be investing time in over the next few weeks, or next few days if you're some of the more hardcore players out there. Rather than a single reward after completing the armor on all 3 characters, we're providing a free glow when earning the magnificent armor sets per class. Additionally, we're seeing some players asking why magnificent armor isn't fully masterworked when earned. This year, our approach was to give players a new path to earn high stat roll armor pieces outside of raids. As these armor sets have a max power cap of 1360, they'll also have a lifespan that lasts through multiple seasons. End result, players can spend their time finding that perfect roll through Solstice packages for the duration of the Solstice of Heroes event. Even after the event is concluded, players can masterwork their armor pieces at their leisure and finish up some of their final majestic objectives to unlock their glow. Which right there just kind of answers a couple of questions that people were asking about. Yes, indeed, you can begin to earn random rolled high stat roll versions of the magnificent armor once you finish the grind to complete one set of gear. This has to do with the quest itself from Ava Levante. Once you finish that quest up with her, she gives you a bunch of Solstice key fragments. Then whenever you open up a package, you'll have a chance at getting some of that majestic level Solstice of Heroes gear. It's actually a pretty great grind later on, but you do have to finish that quest first. And additionally, once you've gotten to the majestic armor set, even when the Solstice of Heroes complete, you'll have as much time as you need to complete the magnificent armor set requirements, because even after the event is done, you can still complete those requirements so long as you've already gotten the majestic armor. So if you're somebody who's sweating out the amount of time you have left to complete this stuff, remember this is only the first week, but even after the Solstice of Heroes is gone, if you've gotten up to the majestic armor set, you've got all the time you need, all the time in the world to get up to magnificent, even after the event is gone. Good stuff there. But Bungie goes on to state, as a final note, obtaining majestic armor sets will grant progress bonuses on your other classes. So, if you're like me and got your magnificent hunter set already, you'll have a 2x progress bonus for your next character's renewed and majestic armor objectives. Once you finish that character up, your third and maybe final character will have a 3x progress bonus for armor objectives. Pretty sweet, huh? With this change compared to last year's event, we're expecting to see more players getting all 3 sets. We'll be watching the conversation for the duration of the event, so be sure to sound off with feedback as you fly through the European aerial zone. And I gotta say, that last bit right there is fantastic news, especially for somebody who has multiple characters. Basically, this means Once you've gotten your magnificent armor set on one character, the quest steps to upgrade your armor from renewed to majestic get easier on your subsequent character. So you get a 2 times bonus, meaning you'll be completing those objectives twice as fast on your second character and then 3 times as fast on your third character. This is fantastic. That's so much incentive for me to actually get this done on both my Hunter and my Titan now once I'm finished with the magnificent armor grind on my Warlock. Hands down, tons of applause for Bungie on this one, and I hope this is something that they look at implementing in other events that, give you different armor sets and different rewards for having multiple characters in the future. This is definitely something they need to do more of. Good stuff. So if you had any questions about the European Aerial Zone, hopefully they were answered there. Of course, if you've got any more, be sure to let us know down in the comment section below. We'll do our best to answer anything else about this ongoing summer event. But that's not all we have to talk about today. Of course, with the Solstice of Heroes, we've got a lot of very fashionable looking Guardians out there earning their glow. And with all these new armor sets in the game, Bungie would be crazy to not have another fashion week. So, they are. Bungie states that Solstice is a celebration, and they're excited to highlight your fashion sense. Glow up, embrace your arc, solar, or void side, and send some screenshots to @Bungie on Twitter with the hashtag Solstice Fashion Show. They'll be retweeting winners through Thursday, August 20th. And for this fashion show, there are going to be a few requirements. Players must be wearing at least one Solstice of Heroes armor piece, either the renewed, majestic, or magnificent version. No glows are required though. Players also must take a picture on any destination to qualify. In other words, an image of your Guardian in the character inspection screen is not going to be considered. A lot of people do submit their Guardian in the character select screen. You need to go out into the game environment and take a screenshot there. And of course, winning Guardians are going to get access to an exclusive Fashion Week emblem. So get out there, take some pretty screenshots, and send them over to Bungie on Twitter. Alright, moving on from there. Additionally, there was a bit of a glitch going on with Solstice of Heroes that Bungie took some time to address here. It has to do with Solstice bounties and Bright Dust. Shortly after Solstice of Heroes launched, Destiny player support became aware of an issue where weekly and repeatable bounties for the event were not giving Bright Dust as intended. They are currently investigating solutions to this issue, and they're also investigating a solution for those who missed out on earning Bright Dust from these bounties during this time and will be granting Bright Dust to affected players as soon as they can. In the meantime, you can continue to redeem your Solstice of Heroes bounties normally. So if you're somebody out there who was a little bit upset that you weren't getting Bright Dust, with the completion of all of these extra Solstice bounties, they've got you covered. And it's nice to know that they're actually going to be giving a bit of a remittance payment back to players based on the Bright Dust that they would have missed out on, especially with all the new cool emotes we got in Eververse this week. I'm definitely glad that this is on their radar and a fix will be coming hopefully soon. But alright Guardians, that's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news covered in this week's issue of the Bungie Weekly Blog, This Week at Bungie for the week of August 13th, 2020. I told you, this one was going to be all about the Solstice of Heroes. And honestly, I hope you Guardians are having fun in that event. I've seen a myriad of different opinions there. Maybe I'll do a video talking about how I feel about the event. I find it fun. I like the European Aerial Zone. I'm really happy, way more motivated now that we know that there is a bonus towards your alt characters, your second and your third characters after you've gotten your first magnificent bit of gear. But I do definitely understand some of the complaints that some of these challenges are a bit lackluster. Not everybody wants to go run 5 strikes. Not everybody wants to go do adventures, especially considering a lot of them are about to go away with the Destiny content vault. And that they wish that this event would have let you play the content you want to play, or the European Aerial Zone itself, more than going and doing some of that other content. I definitely understand that. However you feel, be sure to let me know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But I'm out for now. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.